I'm Courtney Cardozo. I am the Youth Hub Librarian at Maria Shuka Library.
I'm Amanda Bistrom, and I'm the Library Assistant at Maria Shuka Library.
We're both the co-chairs.
Encouraged me to apply as the co-chair. They thought that Courtney and I would make a really great team together.
I was on the committee, and just as a regular member, I was just very active. I always, every little project that we had or input, I would always send really long emails, and I just felt like I was really passionate about it. And so when one of the co-chairs stepped down, I ran, so I put a nomination video up, and then the committee voted yes, and that's how I'm here. Being on the committee, but it's even great working with one of your best friends as the co-chair. I think it was the positive space training at Agincourt.
The first one, yeah. And we were so, what's the word I'm looking for? We were so interested and intrigued.
Yeah, we were very invigorated about
from
everything.
the training that we ended up meeting Abe there, and then we had a conversation with him, and then we ended up joining the Alliance.
We met Abe Valesco, who was then one of the co-chairs of the Alliance, and we were talking, me and her chatterboxes, we were talking a lot during the meeting, and at the end he approached us and asked us if we would be interested. There would be a call out soon, and we said, oh yeah, we'd be interested, and that's how we joined the committee.
Yeah. I didn't know personally about Pride Alliance at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like an introduction for me. And as soon as I found out who they are, what they did, I was like, I want to be a part of this.
And what was great about it is, when we heard about it, I was just becoming a librarian at that time, and so the whole system, I had no real idea about all these great things that the sister was doing and being able to take part of it. So when we heard about the committee, I was especially excited because I was a whole new world, right? As a librarian, because I was a page for 9 years in the system or so. So yeah, it was very exciting.
Actually, recently Courtney and I met with all the directors and Vickery Bowles to get approval for Pride funding. And as one of our recommendations for this year, we asked for Pride Alliance to be considered an official committee of TPL, and it was approved. And so we are now Pride Alliance, an official committee for TPL. It was done previously in all the years we've been running. It was done on a volunteer basis. So all of our work that we've done, all of the meetings have all been on our own time, and so now we'll be recognized as an official TPL committee, and we're really proud of that. We'll be able to do a lot more work, which is great, on work time, because it is work. Yes. So we're really happy about that. Pride Alliance is a group of employees at Toronto Public Library. So we act as a consultation resource for TPL with regards to providing service to the LGBTQ+ community, promoting an environment free of discrimination and harassment, and providing social and networking opportunities for staff.
We are a staff resource that acts as a liaison between getting you to talk to the right people. So say you have a concern or even just a general inquiry or feedback, whether positive or negative, you can send that to us, and we connect you with the right people, or we connect with the people. So for example, there was issues from staff raised about not having visibility of our LGBTQ+ collections, promotion, about programs, not enough programs, washroom signage. So all these concerns kind of filtered their way through the system to us, and from that we always connect with community partners like the 519 Community Center and people in the field who are doing great work, and we go from there. So we're never just the only voice. We tap into our resources and our networks to make sure that we are making a very comprehensive and inclusive response to what's happening. So we just are basically a hodgepodge of many things, but we are a staff resource first and foremost, and then a lot of what we do kind of bleeds into public service, but we connect with the people that are in charge with public service at TPL. Since we've joined, I would say quite significantly, it went from being like all these ideas that we had to actual work being done, I think is the most significant thing. Not saying that Amanda and I were the only ones to be able to do that, but I think it had to take its like steps to get to where it is. We were actually originally a volunteer committee, and recently we presented to the director's HR committee, and they approved us to be a real life work committee, which is great. And so lots of things have changed. It's not just us organizing the Pride Parade, but giving input to different committees at TPL.
So the new washroom signage for all new renovated branches that are trans-friendly and
Gender neutral.
So we had a hand in that. They asked us to consult on the actual signs.
Mm-hmm.
The customer registration
Form, which is we give input to the subcommittee, who's so wonderful and takes a lot of our feedback. Everything to collections on how to do better promotion, if there's any sort of issues in branch with interpersonal conflicts or where staff may feel uncomfortable, we are advocates for that. If staff need resources, we are also those people who can direct you to the right place. There's lots of things that we're doing, I think, which are really exciting, and the committee's really great.
I am really excited about the future role of Pride Alliance, and I'm really happy to be working with my longtime friend in this position as well. I think we make a really great team, and the rest of the committee, plus us, is like the dream team. It's really great. I've learned so much from all of them, and it's just a really great team to work with.
And just echoing what she said, it is a really great committee to be a part of. I just wanted to say also, to echo what Amanda was saying, that anyone in the system, regardless of your position, whether you were a page or a PSA, a librarian, if you feel like there are gaps in the system on inclusion, or if you feel like there's input that you can give, there's things that you're noticing, an idea you have, there's so many committees that are working on how to make our place more enjoyable for not just the public but also for staff. So there's also the EDGE committee. Now the EDGE committee is our diversity committee. Amanda and I are also a part of that, but that is everything you could think of on accessibility,
multicultural services,
like everything on how to make sure that there are no discrepancies between what we are doing and what should be done. And then
what I like about the Pride Alliance is the family that we've created with all our members, and how we can say things off the record, and we're all very non-judgmental, and so grouping with these people, whether it's during a meeting for Pride Alliance or a dinner or a social, we've just gotten to know each other in equal respect, and it's just, I've learned so much from Abe Velasco, from Larry Husam, from Adele, from Scott, from all the other members. They're such a great team to work with and to learn from. So I really love the people. Yeah, in the group. Yeah, and all the great work that we've done for TPL. A few different activities that we hope to do in 2018. So our first one is our annual Pride Parade, and we are getting the Yorkville pillars wrapped in the rainbow colors. We're also revamping the Positive Space program with 519 Community Center and TPL Training we're partnering with, so that we could have a new Positive Space program for staff, and they will be through our staff training site, so it'll be a lot easier to get into. Also, so we are working with CPCE and Sally Muscat on a Pride Alliance brochure, which will be coming out in 2018 for staff. So we're also, the last thing is we'll be collaborating on the diversity work survey along with the diversity committee. So we're really proud of those things for 2018. A lot of staff from other branches have been approaching Pride Alliance members, including Courtney and I. And actually, one really great story is one of our Positive Space champions came forward with an inquiry about getting the Inside Out film festival for LGBTQ community to have it incorporated into our MAP passes.
Ooh.
And it was done. So that staff member, you know who you are, and we're so happy that you came forward with that, and now it's being part of the MAP program between May and June. So they will be offering tickets to the LGBTQ plus films during that time period for the Inside Out Festival.
A staff member brought up that a patron came up to them and said that the Inside Out LGBTQ plus festival should also be a part of our MAP passes, and they felt like it would be really good for LGBTQ plus youth to have access to tickets, which might be really hard for them to afford, and youth in general, but especially youth within that population. And we asked, we put it forward, and now we have it a part of our MAP passes. I think that there's a lot of great things that happen, and for not just the public but staff alike. I'm sure that there are staff members that have youth that are within the community who can go to any branch and can access the passes. There are things that,
branches can all start doing programs, LGBTQ plus type programs. There's drag queen story times now for children. There's an adult LGBTQ adult book club. There are drop-ins for teens. Simply by doing a display, and not just during Pride Month. Do a display all year round. A display for Black History Month in February. Throw some LGBTQ titles in there. That's how you have it throughout the year. Any type of display, you throw an author in, you throw a title in. So it's prevalent all year round.
We are always kind of coming up with new things to give our input to. It normally kind of falls on our lap, but we're always trying to make sure that we're current. So we just plan on always staying informed, whether it's terminology, our definition of the LGBTQ plus, acronym. That's one. For example, there's the new HR Diversity Workforce Survey that's going to be coming out, and the HR department wants us to be involved with helping that becoming more inclusive and make sure they're asking the right questions when it comes to the LGBTQ plus community. We're attending a lot of conferences, trainings. We're just doing things to make sure that we're staying current, I guess. And in future, whatever happens. But I think we're just trying to expand the group, the awareness of the group, make sure that we're really the people that, we're really accessible to our staff. I feel like it's made me a lot more socially aware. I feel like it's really presumptuous to think you know everything. And I've met a lot of really intelligent people. I've worked with really intelligent people. I think it's really humbling to just work on a committee that's doing so much to make sure that our workplace is just like a wonderful environment. And so I think that's my favorite part, just like learning so much from other people and being a part of something that's bigger than me. I don't feel like there's any sort of resistance that we've faced from our system. I think our committee is met with a lot of approval and support from upper management. So I would say that there's nothing that I think I would improve. I think it's just like having active members, which we have, making sure that we're staying current by obviously having more staff involved, and just being more visible. So I would say that would be our biggest or only flaw is not being visible enough to staff. So that's why we're going to have a brochure produced by CPCE soon, and we're on Share TPL as committee page. So these are things that we're doing now, and hopefully just more visibility will be better for us and for the community, for the TPL. Social media presence being more on like our internal page because it's an inward facing resource, like I mentioned. So share TPL, there should be a very easy link. Our wonderful committee members, Larry and Abe, are making sure they're taking care of that. And we have Yesenia taking care of our Yammer page. So we have lots of people doing things to make sure that we're more visible, because visibility is our biggest flaw, and we're working on it.
So like in the future, there'll be Facebook, right?
No. I don't think Facebook would be a thing because it is a inward facing staff, and so like staff resource we wouldn't. And how do we vet that someone works at TPL? Do we like share TPL them, right? Like I would look at the contact list. So I think for now we're going to stay in this, but eventually one day it might grow out to be something that's more customer facing. I think it's not just about like our committee being visible, like about us putting posters or a brochure up. I think a big thing is staff need to know that they should feel comfortable being themselves. So pride, symbolizes being your most authentic self, especially if you're particularly if you're in the LGBTQ community. But if you hear derogatory remarks about the community, even if that's your supervisor, you need to be telling somebody, don't put up with that sort of hateful language. You are supported throughout the system, and that I guess to just know that no matter how big your branch is, how small your branch is, just be proud of who you are and know that the system's here to support you and this committee's here to support you. Yeah, it's really good. Of course, there's Pride Alliance, so there's internal service also bleeds out to public service, right? So anything that we're doing for the public, we're also doing for staff, right? Gender neutral signage also makes our staff feel more included and more visible. There might be a staff member that is gender non-conforming and is uncomfortable with going to a female washroom or female quote-unquote washroom. Having that visibility is really, making our staff feel like they're part of this workforce. So I think it's really exciting. So I just think the work that we do, we try to make sure that it benefits not just the LGBTQ plus community, but the whole, like all of our staff. Everyone feels equal, Staff, they come forward with requests and inquiries, and we try and do our best to answer or recommend or give them resources that they can find the right answers for. You can always forward any inquiries or questions or concerns to our email, so that's pride@torontopubliclibrary.ca, or you can contact Courtney or myself or any of the Pride Alliance members, and we'll do our best to get back to you on anything that you ask. That the Alliance is a great group. It's a resource group for staff. So any concerns or questions, just come forth and come bring it to us, and we'll do our best to help out. For call-outs, we don't do call-outs every single year, but we do encourage discussion, you reaching out to us. There are positions that open up. We are trying to make this as inclusive as possible, a wide variety of staff and positions and abilities in ethnic and cultural backgrounds, sexual orientations, gender orientations, you name it. But just keep in mind you can always reach out to us and give us your feedback at any time, and you don't necessarily have to be on the committee to do so. Just so many places and so many people you can talk to. You can always ask the HR department. Dan Keon is fantastic, and he can direct your inquiries if you cannot find the right person. So just keep that in mind. No idea is too big, no idea is too small, and you should just get more proactive in the system so you can make it a better place for yourself and for others.